Alright, the previous video was an RS flip-flop without a clock, so this time it's going to be a clock. It's the same as the other one. This was the other previous one unclocked, so you just have two more NAND gates here, so 4 total, so 1 chip. So basically I'm going to use these 2 top NAND gates on top here, for these 2 on the top, and these 2 on the bottom. I used the 2 bottom ones on the chip. So again, I started with S and went to the input of the first one on the top, and the clock, I'll show you that at the end. So I got my R. I labeled these 2 switches S and R. So S goes to your first input, but then you see the output. The output on top the output of the first one goes to the input of the next. So I just put a little jumper cable from this output here, 11, to the input of the next gate. So it's a really tiny jumper, as you can see there. The jumper there from pins 11 to 10. It's gonna be the same thing on the bottom. When you put your R input in, I got R going to my input on the bottom here. Then the output is going to go to the input of the next NAND gate, which is going to be output pin 3 to the input of pin 4. So you can see, again, a tiny jumper. It was tough to do with needle nose. So then in your flip-flop, here the output on the top here, which is pin 8, is going to go to your input of this bottom one. So the output here, pin 8, I jumped to one of the inputs on the bottom here. So I made the wires as short as possible, but so the output here is going to go to my input on my next NAND gate, and vice versa. The output here is going to go to the input on top. So now it says here we have a clock input going to both of these at the same time. Your clock input is basically your square wave, which is basically your power supply. So if you look up here, it's always been on square anyway. All these videos have been plus 5 volts square wave, so which is right here. So I got my 2 leads there. Just tap off to the plus 5 volts, which is your square wave, and just put that to one. You just put that to each input. The first one S and the other one R, they're both the same input. So right here, here's my input. And input on the bottom would be R, the top would be S. All right, so that's it. So just power it up. All right, 0 0 0 0, no change. So I have 0 0. The light is on, but that's from the previous state. But now I have here, if S is 0 and R is 1, I should have 0 1 on my output. So I'll go 0 1. So 0, S is off, so that's 0 1. So you can see Q naught lights up. As you can see here, there's a 1, Q naught. So if I put S to 1, R to 0, Q should light up and Q naught should shut off. So let's switch these, turn that off, turn this one on. There you go, Q lights up, Q naught turns off. And if I turn, they're both on, 1 1, they both should be on. There you go, they're both on. Q and Q naught are on. And that's simple. It took me about maybe 20 minutes to wire this up, but pretty easy. These flip-flops are important for later on for counting and shifting numbers over, so we'll get to those eventually. So any questions, just give me an email.